Hello, and welcome, invaders, to an absolutely lovely time about multiplying fractions. There are different ways you can do that, and there's different types of problems. The main way to multiply fractions, I got from math.com. The article title was To Multiply Fractions. The publisher and organization was math.com. Didn't have a publication or a date of publication or place of publication. Okay. So say for instance, the rules are you need to change all mixed numbers like 2 and 2/3 up into improper fractions, say which 2 and 1/2 would be 5 seconds, for example. And then after you've done that, if it is needed, you multiply top times the top, or numerator times numerator, and bottom times bottom, or denominator times denominator. Then once you have your answer, you simplify, if needed. If it is already simplified, you do not simplify, because it is not needed. Okay. So say, let's start out with an easy one. We have 4/12 times, this little dot right here could mean multiply. That's about it. But anyway, 4/12 times 3/4. And then, what we'd say here, since we don't need to change any mixed numbers into improper fractions, we can skip that step because it is not needed. And so, you'd say 4 times 3 is 12. And then 12 times 4 would be 48. Okay. So now that you have that answer, then you'd simplify. I always start by cutting it in half. So, let's see, half of this, that would be 6. 6/24, and then half of that would be 3/12. And you can't simplify anymore, so your answer fraction would be 3/12. Or you could quick. Or you could have started out by simplifying 4/12. Started out by simplifying right there, 4/12 into 2/6. And then simplifying once more into 1/3. So you could have started out with 1/3 times, a little dot again, times 3/4. And then you'd say 3 times 4 equals 12. And then 1 times 3 equals 3. And we have the same answer. So you can simplify either way. I like doing it at the last. Simplifying it when you get the answer. Okay. And then you can get into where there's mixed numbers, which would be like 2. Which would be like 2 and 1/2. And then times 3. That's easy. This, since making it into an improper fraction is necessary, you will need to make it into an improper fraction because it's necessary. So how you would do that is you say 2 times 2 plus 1. And this could be used with anything, not just 2 and 1/2. It could be used with, say, 3 and, I don't know, 3 and 4/5. So you'd say 3 or 5 times 3 would equal 5 times 3 would equal 15, or 3 times 5. And then you'd say Then you'd say 15 plus 4, which would equal 19. So you would have 19 fifths, because you keep the denominator the same. Anyway, so now we're back up here, and so let's make these into improper fractions. What you do for that is you would say, okay, 2 times 2 is 4 plus 1 equals 5, so you'd have 5 halves. Okay, so then we're going to take 5 halves times 3, and just to make it simpler, we'll make it 3 into halves, and so we have 3. We end up getting 6 halves. Okay? You know what, let's make it 3 and 1/2, so it's easier. 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1 is 7, so we have 7 halves. 5 times 7 is 35, and then 2 times 2, because you do top times top and bottoms times bottom, 2 times 2 would be 4. And you can't simplify that any lower. Thank you for your time. Okay, so now you need to change this back into a mixed number, which is easy, by the way. So 4 times 8 is 32. And then to get to 35, you need to add 3 more. And the 3 more is the 3 you have left over from 4 times 8. So you'd end up, since this 3 is your extra, then you would have 8, because that is your whole number that you took to get to 34, and 3 your leftover, and 4 your denominator. Thank you for your time. We would like to thank the book Bits and Pieces 2, article title Investigation 3, authors and creators Lappin, Fay, Fitzgerald, Friel, and Phillips, and the publisher organization Pearson, and the date of publication would be 2009, and the place of publication is Michigan.